$600 million.
That's the figure.
That is the figure attached to the educational vision we're discussing today. I mean, picture the scene. The dust is settling on this plot of land in Bastrop, Texas. The sun's beating down, and you're standing there just expecting to see the future.
A futuristic campus, something out of sci-fi, designed by the guy who is literally sending rockets to Mars.
And the pitch was incredible, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Parents applied in droves. We're talking people desperate to get their child in.
They all wanted their kid to be the next prodigy, learning through video games, no more grade levels, just completely breaking the mold.
The world was basically waiting for this high-tech academy to redefine everything.
But when the doors actually opened, it wasn't a revolution. It was a white columned house with the Texas flag out front.
And inside.
Not the next generation of engineers, that's for sure. It was about 10 toddlers, 2 caregivers, and a snack break. Graham crackers and apples.
Wow. Talk about an expectation gap.
Welcome to StarScope Report. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jamie.
And we are so glad you're with us. Today we're doing what we do best, uncovering the systems and, the drama behind the headlines.
Whether it's Hollywood shakeups, music industry chaos, or these tech billionaire scandals, we look for the real story.
And today's story starts with a school that became a daycare, but that is just the tip of the iceberg.
It really is. That school is the entry point into a much darker, much more complex web. We're talking secret children, custody battles fought across state lines to exploit legal loopholes.
And a father basically at war with the mothers of his children.
Exactly.
So let's start with this school. The headline that grabbed everyone was pretty much, Elon's school is now a daycare.
You kind of have to laugh because the hype was so real.
It was. But where did this idea even come from?
Well, to understand the disappointment, you have to look at the history. The project, Astra.
Which is Latin for to the stars.
Right. It didn't start in Texas. It actually began way back in 2014 at SpaceX headquarters in California. And the original philosophy was fascinating.
Yeah, it was just for the employees' kids back then. And the vision was classic Musk. He said learning should be as close to a video game as possible. He wanted to get rid of grade levels entirely. The whole idea is that you shouldn't have to move at the speed of the slowest kid in the class.
So if you're 8 years old and ready for calculus,
Go for it.
which, to be fair, is a compelling idea.
Yeah.
It's like Montessori, but supercharged with Silicon Valley money and that whole move fast and break things mindset.
Right.
The problem isn't the philosophy, it's the execution. The operation moved to Bastrop, Texas, which is becoming sort of a company town for his empire, and his foundation poured millions into it.
A massive financial injection, all meant to build this world-class facility.
But the reality on the ground in Texas is just confusing. You have parents, like this one real estate agent mentioned in the New York Times, applying for his 3-year-old because, and I'm quoting here, everyone wants their kid to be like Elon Musk.
But when you look at the actual state documents, this thing isn't an academy. It's licensed specifically as a childcare program.
And that's the key distinction. Those regulatory words matter. It serves about 10 kids, all aged 5 and under.
The curriculum isn't rocket science. It's naps on personalized cots.
And the admin side seems to be a mess. The school faced permitting issues because staff didn't even have the necessary education credits.
Wait. So staff hired to teach the next generation of geniuses didn't have the basic credits to run a daycare.
According to the public filings, yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole atmosphere is just bizarrely intense for a preschool. There are security guards turning reporters away at the gate.
It's so secretive for something that turns out to be so, mundane inside, like a fortress protecting a nursery.
And the irony here is just dripping. While thousands of people are applying, hoping to get their kids in, Musk's own children with Shivon Zilis, who live nearby, they're reportedly being homeschooled.
They aren't even attending.
Nope. That's the most telling detail for me. It's what we call in the startup world, not eating your own dog food.
Right. If the product isn't good enough for the founder, why is it being sold to the public?
It just raises this massive question about the gap between the public promise and the private reality.
And if you think the school situation is messy, just wait until you see the family tree it was supposed to serve.
This isn't just a nuclear family, it's a dynasty in the making.
Coming up, we're going to map out the Musketeers, all 14 of them, and we'll tell you which child was kept a total secret until a biography blew the whole thing open.
It's a very tangled web, so stay with us.
Okay, let's get into this family tree, or as some headlines are calling it, a family tree with tangled roots. We just need to establish the scale here because it is genuinely hard to keep track.
It is. We are talking about 14 known children.
14. It's a number that you just have to pause on for a second.
It's not just a large family in the traditional sense. This
Right.
feels like a foundational effort. It ties back to his whole pro-natalist ideology.
Can you define that for us quickly? Because we hear that word thrown around a lot in these tech circles.
Sure. Pronatalism, in this specific tech billionaire context, is the belief that the biggest threat to humanity is a collapsing birth rate.
But there's a catch, right?
There's always a catch.
Yes.
It's often about the right people having children. The idea that high IQ individuals have a moral duty to reproduce as much as possible to, save the species. He's personally trying to correct the course.
So it's ideology meeting biology. Let's do a rapid-fire run-through of the kids just so everyone's on the same page. We start with the Justine Wilson era.
Right. This was before the mega thing. They had their firstborn, Nevada, who tragically died of SIDS at just 10 weeks old.
Which is just heartbreaking, and reportedly that influenced his decision to use IVF for future pregnancies.
To maximize efficiency and success, yeah. And that led to the twins, Griffin and Vivian, and then the triplets Kai, Saxon, and Damien.
And we have to stop on Vivian Jenna Wilson. She was formerly Xavier.
Yes. She legally changed her name in 2022.
And this was a very public estrangement. She stated in court documents she no longer wished to be related to her biological father in any way.
And his response was to blame what he calls the woke mind virus, even claiming she is dead to him. It just shows that for all the protege talk, there are some deep fractures.
Okay, so then we get into the overlap era. And this is where the drama really kicks into high gear. We have Grimes, the musician.
And Shivon Zilis, the Neuralink executive.
And the timelines here are tight.
Tight is a generous word. The timeline basically collapses on itself. So Grimes has 3 kids with him, X, who we've all seen, then Exodark Ceterial, who they call Y.
And Techno Mechanicus, Tau.
Tau was the secret one.
Right.
His existence wasn't even revealed until Walter Isaacson's biography came out, kept hidden for a year. But look at the dates. Shivon Zilis, who worked for Musk at Neuralink, had twins, Strider and Azure, in November 2021.
That is literally weeks before Grimes' daughter Y was born via surrogate.
And reports say Musk did not tell Grimes about the twins with Zilis.
Can you imagine finding that out at the same time as the rest of the world?
It's an incredibly complex dynamic. You have 2 mothers unknowingly expanding this family tree at the exact same time. And Zilis has since had 2 more children, Arcadia in 2024 and Selden Lycurgus in February 2025.
And just when you think the list is complete, we get another bombshell. Ashley St. Clair.
The conservative commentator.
Yes. It was revealed she had a son named Romulus, born in September 2024.
And this was not a straightforward announcement. There were rumors, denials, and then finally a paternity test.
Showing a 99.9% probability that Musk is the father. So that brings the total to 14 children with at least 3 concurrent partners in the last few years.
Which is a lot.
But having 14 kids is one thing. Paying for them, that's where the lawyers get involved.
And wait until you hear the shocking dollar amount Musk is fighting to pay in the state of Texas.
Up next, we're looking at a custody battle that involves blocked phone numbers, a desperate plea on social media, and a child support cap that will make your jaw drop.
Okay, let's talk about the legal war, because this is less about family court and more like high-stakes corporate litigation strategy just applied to children. The headline here is The Battle for Jurisdiction.
It really is. In legal circles, this is called jurisdictional arbitrage. It's when you try to move a case to a location where the laws are more favorable to you.
And in this case, it's a tug-of-war between California and Texas.
So Musk filed in Texas first. Why? Is it just because he lives there?
It's almost entirely about the math. Texas has a statutory cap on child support. It's incredibly strict. For 3 children, the monthly support payment is capped at approximately $2,760.
Hold on, let me just repeat that. $2,760
A month.
for the richest men in the world.
That's the law in Texas. It's designed for the average earner. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 a year or $50 billion. The cap is the cap. And his legal team absolutely knows this. It's a way to limit financial exposure and, frankly, to maintain control. If the mother's only getting about $2,700 a month, she can't maintain a lifestyle comparable to his without his, direct voluntary help.
And California?
California's the complete opposite. There is no cap. Support is based on the parent's wealth and the station in life the child would have had.
So children of billionaires should live like children of billionaires.
Exactly. Musk could be ordered to pay millions a month for security, nannies, travel, housing.
So Musk argues the kids lived in Texas for 6 months, which establishes residency. Grimes argues they live in California, and that's the billion-dollar difference.
That's the whole game. And it's not just about money. It's about access and control. This all became very public when Grimes revealed that Musk had blocked her.
On X, the platform he owns.
Yes.
It feels so. High school, but on a global scale. Blocking the mother of your children on your own platform.
And she posted, "My only priority is co-parenting. I am not interested in public dramatics." Which is ironic because everything they do becomes public.
Well, she was kind of forced to go public. Remember the medical crisis incident?
Oh, awful.
Grimes posted and then deleted this plea begging Musk to respond to her texts about a medical emergency with one of the kids. She claimed he was ignoring her calls while the child faced potential lifelong impairment.
That is terrifying for any parent. It just shows a complete breakdown in communication that goes way beyond "we don't get along."
And speaking of public versus private, we have to talk about the Oval Office incident.
This was such a pivotal moment. He took their son, X, who was 4 years old, to the Oval Office to meet President Trump.
And Grimes found out about it on social media.
Can you imagine? Just scrolling through your feed and seeing your toddler sitting at the Resolute desk.
Her reaction was so telling. She wrote, "He should not be in public like this." It just highlights this fundamental clash.
It does. Musk sees X as a protege. He brings him to engineering meetings, rocket launches, high-level political briefings. He's integrated this child into his empire.
Whereas Grimes has been begging for privacy. She talks about consented fame, the idea that you shouldn't be famous until you're old enough to choose it.
And it connects to this bigger question of how we view children of the ultra-wealthy. Are they private citizens, or are they heirs to a dynasty who need to be groomed in the public eye? Musk clearly believes the latter.
It's almost medieval, the king preparing the prince.
And it's not just Grimes fighting this battle. Ashley St. Clair is making some really serious claims, too.
About finances, right?
Right. St. Clair claims that Musk substantially reduced financial support after she publicly supported the trans community.
Which we know is a huge sore spot for him, given his estrangement from his trans daughter, Vivian.
So St. Clair alleges that because her views clashed with his, he cut the funding and is now seeking full custody of their son, Romulus. It suggests a pattern where money and custody are used as leverage.
Agree with my worldview or lose the support.
Essentially.
It's just so much to take in. And if you're hooked on these deep dives into the lives of the ultra-famous, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got more stories coming that you won't want to miss.
So when we step back, what does this all mean? We started with a school in Texas that promised to be this futuristic academy.
It ended up as a small daycare with graham crackers.
And we zoomed out to see that the campus was never really the point. The point is this massive, fractured family of 14 children spread across multiple mothers, states, and legal battles.
It really highlights the collision of extreme wealth and extreme ideology.
Musk's pronatalism isn't just some philosophy he talks about on podcasts. It's a logistical reality involving lawyers, NDAs, and custody wars. And caught in the middle are these children.
Kids who are split between being treated as protégés in the Oval Office and needing privacy and medical care that their mothers are fighting for.
It's a stark reminder that you can engineer a rocket, but you can't engineer a family. It just doesn't work that way.
It really forces us to ask, what is the cost of this kind of legacy building? Is the goal to raise happy kids or to create a gene pool that can manage a Mars colony?
Because those are two very, very different objectives.
And I want to leave you with one final thought. We know about the 14 children. We know about the lawsuits. We know that Tau was hidden for a whole year.
And we know Romulus was kept quiet for months.
Exactly. So given the overlaps, the secrecy, and just the sheer scale of this whole operation, you have to wonder.
Are we looking at the full picture?
Are we looking at the full picture of the Musk family tree, or are there more branches we just haven't seen yet?
It's a question that keeps this story far from over.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.